Hello and welcome to a brand new video. Today, I'm talking about a topic that's extremely important for millions of retirees in Germany. It's about a new regulation set to take effect in January 2026. That could significantly improve the lives of many seniors. We're discussing the possibility of earning up to €2,000 tax-free on top of your pension. Before we dive in, I'd appreciate it if you like this video, if you find it helpful, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any important updates. Also, feel free to share your opinion on this topic or ask questions in the comments. I'll try to answer as many as I can. So, let's get started and see what this new regulation means, who benefits from it, and what you need to keep in mind. First, we need to understand the current situation for retirees in Germany. Many seniors want to or need to continue working after retirement. The reasons are varied. Some simply want to stay active and enjoy their work. Others need the extra money because their pension alone isn't enough to maintain their standard of living. Until now, various rules determined how much retirees could earn without their pension being reduced or taxes being due. These rules were often complicated and hard to understand. Many were unsure how much they could earn and what the consequences of earning too much might be. The current legislation distinguishes between different types of retirees. There are early retirees, people who retire before the regular retirement age, and those who have already reached it. Different rules have applied to these two groups. For early retirees, there were strict income limits. Anyone drawing a full pension before the regular retirement age could only earn a certain amount without their pension being cut. Anything above that limit led to a reduction in their pension. This was frustrating for many who wanted to work but were restricted by the rules. For retirees who had already reached the regular retirement age, the situation was a bit different. While there was no longer a limit on additional earnings, the income had to be taxed. And this is where the new regulation we're discussing today comes into play. Starting in January 2026, there will be a new tax-free income limit of €2,000. This means that retirees who can use this rule can earn up to €2,000 a month on top of their pension without paying taxes on that amount. That sounds great at first, but let's look closer at what this means and who this rule applies to. It's important to understand that not every retiree will automatically benefit from this regulation. There are certain prerequisites and conditions that must be met. First, we need to clarify what exactly counts as additional income. Basically, it includes any income from employment or self-employment that is earned, in addition to the pension. This could be a mini-job, a part-time position, or even self-employment. It's also important to understand that this €2,000 tax-free limit doesn't mean everything above it is automatically fully taxed. This is an allowance. Income up to this amount remains tax-free, and anything above it is treated according to normal tax regulations. For many retirees, this is a significant improvement. Imagine you receive a pension of, say, €1,200 a month. With an additional tax-free income of €2,000, you would have a total of €3,200 at your disposal. This can make a substantial difference in your quality of life. But let's also talk about the practical implementation. How does it work exactly? If you're a retiree who works and wants to benefit from this rule, you need to follow certain steps. First, you should inform your employer about your retiree status. This is important for payroll and the tax treatment of your earnings. You may also need to declare your additional income on your tax return. Even if the first €2,000 are tax-free, they still need to be declared. The tax office needs to know your total income to verify that the rule is being applied correctly. Another important point is Social Security contributions. Even if the earnings are tax-free, Social Security contributions may still apply. This depends on the type of employment. For a mini-job, up to €538 a month. For example, only flat-rate contributions are made, which the employer pays. For higher earnings, health and nursing care insurance contributions may apply. It's also important to know that this regulation can affect other benefits. For instance, if you receive basic Social Security in old age, your additional income will be considered when calculating this benefit. This could lead to a reduction in your basic security, even if the income is tax-free. Now, let's look at some specific examples to better understand the effects of this regulation. Let's take Mrs. Muller, 68 years old, who receives a pension of €1,400 a month. She works part-time in a flower shop and earns €1,800 a month there. With the new regulation from January 2026, this €1,800 would be completely tax-free. Mrs. Muller would thus have a total of €3,200 available without having to pay taxes on her additional income. Or let's take Mr. Schmidt, 70 years old, with a pension of €1,600. He works as a consultant and earns €2,500 a month. Of his €2,500 in additional income, €2,000 would be tax-free. Only the remaining €500 would be treated under normal tax rules. This is also a significant improvement over the situation where the entire additional income would have to be taxed. However, there are also critical voices about this regulation. Some experts argue that a €2,000 tax-free income might be too high and could lead to tax shortfalls for the state. Others believe the regulation is too complicated and that there could be simpler solutions. On the other hand, many social associations and retiree organizations welcome this change. They argue that retirees who want or need to work should not be disadvantaged by high tax burdens. They also emphasize that working retirees make an important contribution to society by passing on their knowledge and experience. Another aspect we shouldn't forget is the impact on the labor market. In times of skilled labor shortages, working retirees can help fill gaps. Many companies value the experience and reliability of older employees. The new regulation could make it more attractive for retirees to stay in the workforce longer or to take up employment again after retiring. However, there are also concerns that this could lead to the displacement of younger workers. If retirees, with their combination of pension and tax-advantaged income, are cheaper for employers, they might be hired preferentially. This is a discussion that will certainly need to be had. Let's also talk about the long-term effects of this regulation. If more retirees work and earn their own income, this could reduce the burden on the pension funds in the long run. People who work in addition to their pension may be less dependent on state support. At the same time, the regulation could also lead to people retiring earlier, knowing they can easily earn extra income. This, in turn, could strain the pension funds. It's a complex interplay of various factors, the effects of which will only become visible over time. An important point I still want to address is information and advice for retirees. Many older people are unsure about their rights and options. It's crucial that there are adequate advisory services to inform retirees about the new regulation and help with practical implementation. The German pension insurance offers various advisory options. There's telephone counseling, personal meetings at information and advisory centers, and online information. I recommend that all retirees thinking about earning extra income get thorough information in advance and, if necessary, seek personal advice. Tax advisors can also be important contacts, especially for more complex questions. The cost of tax advice can be well worth it if it helps avoid mistakes and allows you to benefit optimally from the new regulations. Now, I want to address some frequently asked questions that arise in connection with this new regulation. One question I'm often asked is, does the rule apply to all types of pensions? In principle, the regulation refers to the statutory old age pension. For other types of pensions, such as a disability pension, different rules may apply. Another common question is, what happens if I earn more than €2,000 a month? As mentioned, the first €2,000 are tax-free. Everything above that is treated according to normal tax rules. This doesn't mean you suddenly have to pay taxes on everything, but only on the amount exceeding €2,000. Some also ask, do I have to report my additional income to the pension insurance? Yes, even if there is no longer a reduction in your pension, the additional income should be reported. This serves for transparency and helps avoid problems during later audits. An important question is also, will the regulation apply from the first day of January 2026? That depends on when the corresponding law is passed and comes into force. Usually, there are transitional arrangements, and the exact details will be specified in the legal texts. It's important to follow current developments. Let's also talk about the international perspective. How do other countries handle the topic of retirees and additional income? In some countries, there are more generous regulations, in others, more restrictive ones. With this new regulation, Germany is moving in a direction that encourages retirees more to continue participating in the workforce. In Austria, for example, there are similar considerations. There too, it is being discussed how to make it easier for retirees to work in addition to their pension. Switzerland also has regulations on additional income, but they are structured differently than in Germany. The comparison with other countries shows that there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Each country must adapt its own regulations to the specific conditions of its labor market and pension system. Now, I'd like to give some practical tips for retirees who want to benefit from the new regulation. First, plan ahead. If you know you want to earn more starting in 2026, start looking for suitable job offers now. Many employers are happy to have experienced employees. Second, get thoroughly informed. Read the official information from the pension, insurance, and the tax office. The better informed you are, the better you can use the regulation to your advantage. Third, get advice. As mentioned, professional advice can be very helpful. Whether from the pension, insurance, or a tax advisor, don't hesitate to ask questions. Fourth, document everything. Keep all documents related to your additional income, your payslips, and certificates. This makes the tax return easier and helps with any inquiries. Fifth, be realistic. Think carefully about how much you want and are able to work. Health and quality of life should always come first. In conclusion, I want to summarize what we've discussed today. Starting in January 2026, it should be possible for retirees to earn up to €2,000 a month tax-free. This is a significant improvement over the current situation and can help many retirees improve their standard of living or simply stay active. This regulation has many positive aspects, but also some points that need to be considered. It's important that you are well informed and seek advice if necessary. The new regulation offers opportunities, but only if used correctly. I hope this video has helped you better understand the new regulation. If you have more questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I'll try to answer as many as possible. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more informative videos like this. Remember that laws and regulations can change. So stay up to date and regularly inform yourself about current developments. The information I've provided today is based on the current state of discussion, but details could still change before the actual implementation in January 2026. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Stay healthy and well informed about your rights as a retiree. Bye and see you soon.